Welcome to the very first installment of the weekly Envision, where I'll be doing weekly updates about the North Atlantic tropical activity. And this week is kind of special because we haven't had any of these before, and there are no active storms, which kind of makes my life a little bit easy right now. Let's investigate into why. First, we're going to take a look at sea surface temperatures, and the 26-degree centigrade boundary, which is what is typically known for tropical cyclones to occur at, is pretty high for this pretty north for this time of year. If we take a look at the temperature anomalies as well, very warm waters pretty much all the way across the Atlantic. The only deficits are in the extratropical regions, very close to South America and south and west of Africa, which is even below the equator. So basically the entire Atlantic is above average. But that's about where the positives end. If we take a look at the deep wind shear layer of the Atlantic, you can basically forget about any tropical cyclones forming. It is a complete graveyard, with the only hole in wind shear to the east of the Carolinas, which is actually moving away and into colder sea surface temperatures. So if anything were to form there, it would be very unlikely. Which brings us to now the water vapor imagery to see, well, here's the hole in wind shear, but there's no moisture there. It's completely dry. The only pockets of moisture that are popping up are near the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, which basically means it's completely hostile. So what we're going to take a look at now is some model data. So we're going to start with the GFS and work our way up. You will also see Blanca develop in the East Pacific there, and here is a tropical low that could potentially develop off the coast of Florida and deepen to 1,000 millibars before turning extratropical and heading up into the Canadian Maritimes. That's what we're looking at for the GFS. If we take a look at the ECMWF, there's a lot less data points for this, but basically it's the calmest of the five I'm about to show you. It shows Blanca developed to a 979 millibar and then 956 millibar hurricane, which is easily a category 3, and then start to weaken as it moves through the peninsula. But no, it does not have any significant low pressure forming off the coast of Florida and then becoming extratropical as it moves up into the Canadian Maritimes, as most of the rest of the models will. We'll take a look at the CMC model now, which will be the Canadian model, and this is usually the model that is all cowbell. This model predicts the absolute worst case scenario for any storm. So we're moving along, and we'll see what the CMC develops. Blanca there, down to 988, 982, 981, 976. But now note that the tropical low is forming to the south and west of Cuba now. Well, probably not that tropical, but wow, the ECMWF has it going deeper than the CMC. That's rare to see. But the CMC develops a significant low off the coast of Florida, whether it be tropical or not, at 986 millibars, and then has it taking up the east coast and going into the Canadian Maritimes, where it merges with another extratropical low, perhaps. No, it just continues to go east. Okay, as we take a look at the NavGem model, which I'm not 100% sure what NavGem stands for, but I also don't care because it's just another model I can show you guys. We'll once again watch Blanca blow up there in the Eastern Pacific, down to 984 millibars, and now here is the low again developing off the coast of Florida, bringing it down to 999 millibars before weakening and heading up off towards the North Atlantic. And then the Japanese Meteorological Association model. So now we're going to see what the Japanese have to say about this storm. Well, it doesn't have much to say about Blanca. Oh, well, it does. It's just not on camera. A pretty significant deepening of Blanca, but no significant storm coming from Cuba and then going along the East Coast. There's going to be a line of flows here, but that's about it. So that's basically it for models. Now, as you probably already saw, we'll go back to the activity comparison, comparing other storm seasons since 1900 to now. The most active season would be the 1908 hurricane season, which already had 2 hurricanes to this point. Only 2 other seasons since 1900 has had 2 storms, 1951 and 2012. Only 3 other seasons had a hurricane to begin the season before June 1st, 1970, 1955, and 1938. And 2015 is with countless seasons. I think there's like 15 of them that have 1 named storm, no hurricanes, and no major hurricanes to this point. So unofficially, it is tied 7th most active season of all time. That's probably going to be the highest it is the entire season, however, because we have some predictions here. Tropical storms, there's probably only going to be 6 to 9 named storms this season, with 2 to 5 of them being hurricanes, and I can only see one of those hurricanes potentially becoming major, unless there is actually 5 hurricanes, in which case 2 might become, but I still don't see that happening. If we take a look at the CDPS, I see 5 to 9 stage 2 cyclones developing, with 1 to 3 of them becoming stage 4, 0 to 1 of them, which is the same as major hurricanes, becoming stage 6. And you'll see an example of stage 6 later on. Stage 8 and stage 10s, there's just no chance. If we take a look at worldwide tropical cyclone activity, we have Hurricane Andres, which is currently located at 15.7 north, 120.3 west, with winds of 140 miles an hour, potentially peaked with winds of 150 miles per hour, still a Category 4. Its current CDPS rating is 36, which puts it as a Stage 6 cyclone. And then we also have Tropical Storm Blanca, also in the Eastern Pacific, with the latitude of 13.5 north and the longitude of 104.1 west. Winds barely a tropical storm, but this storm is predicted to rapidly intensify by most of the models that I showed you, and currently has a CDPS rating of 12. So some important pointers. There's a hole in the deep wind shear layer off the coast of the Carolinas that will continue to move east and into unfavorable conditions. Sea surface temperatures and moisture are basically completely unconductive for development within the hole in the windshield layer, and a low may form off the coast of Cuba and Florida and over the Bahamas in the next 5 to 6 days, but it's unknown if it will form, and if it does form, if it will be tropical or not. Other than that, there is absolutely no chance for a tropical cyclone anywhere, probably in the next half month. It's a complete graveyard of wind shear. So the next updates will be on June the 8th, not July the 8th. 4 cyclonic minutes and live envisions will be activated when needed. The 4 cyclonic minutes will be when there is an active storm in the Atlantic. Live envision will happen when a stage 4 cyclone threatens landfall in the US or a stage 7 cyclone threatens landfall anywhere. We'll see you later.